The member for Wannon.
Thanks, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Immigration and Border Protection. Will the minister inform the House of action the government is taking to address the growing threat of terrorism and protect the community from terrorists trying to return to Australia?
The Minister for Immigration and Border Protection.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. I want to say thank you very much to the member for Wannon. He chairs the Intelligence Committee in this place, a bipartisan committee and a very, very important committee indeed. The government announced earlier this year that we would introduce legislation, Mr Speaker, which would strip dual citizens of their Australian citizenship if they'd been involved in a terrorist-related activity and if that rendering didn't render that person stateless. There are safeguards recommended by the committee, and I commend all of the members of the committee. There were 27 recommendations in total accepted in all by the government, and we have, I believe, improved the legislation, and it's of great benefit to the national security of this country. As all members in this place know, there are over 400 high-priority counter-terrorism cases currently being managed by our security agencies. Since September of last year, when the National Terrorism Public Alert level was raised to high, 26 people have been charged as a result of 10 terrorism-related operations, and that is more than one-third of all terrorism-related charges since 2001. And I think, as all Australians have seen through the events in Sydney and in Melbourne, but also from what they've seen in France and elsewhere across the world, the threat of terrorism is not going to diminish in our lifetimes, and governments need to be prepared to deal with that threat. And whether it's stopping young 14 or 15-year-olds at the border from leaving our shores to go and fight in Syria and Iraq, and then eventually to return to our shores even more radicalised, or if it means putting further investments into our agencies, including the Australian Federal Police, Australian Border Force and the intelligence agencies, then this government is prepared to make that investment. And this legislation, Mr Speaker, goes to trying to give an extra ability to the agencies to identify those people who may have broken their allegiance with this country, and because of their own actions, in essence, they renounce their own citizenship. So this is a significant piece of legislation. I want to thank the Leader of the Opposition and my opposite number for the support in relation to this bill. We will continue to work together in the nation's best interests, and no doubt there will be further collaborations because the threat will increase, and it will be incumbent upon governments to make sure that we put in place measured pieces of legislation which will ensure the safety of our people.